And now we got ourselves a show. My first guest is one of the greatest comedians of all time. You can see him December 28th at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And his new book, Rickles Letters, is in stores now. Please welcome Mr. Warmth, Don Rickles.
What did I get on the meter?
I've never heard applause like that here before. Never.
No. Get outside once in a while. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you, really.
Yeah. Thrilled you're here.
Okay, that's about it.
No, stay. More time with me, Don, your favorite.
Why are you yelling? I'm right here. You got the job. You're going to California. You became a big shot, you know? That was cute what you did with Jay Leno. When you put that in his tea. Anyway, you know, that's a whole big discussion, and I wish you luck. It's going to be great for you and Jay, and I wish you a lot of luck out there, really. And you're going to be in Brentwood, right? That's where, I'm not going to tell the address.
Right.
It's a bad area. Anyway,
a lot of mobs roaming the streets in Brentwood.
We don't use the word mobs. Those are old days.
Okay, we'll get past
You're
that.
Irish. Do what you do best. Sit in a bar and go...
You know me too well. There's so much to talk about, Don. First of all, you've got this book, Rickles Letters,
right,
where these are the unpublished, the letters you never sent, letters that you sent to celebrities, and they're stunning, and you have a letter in here to me. I was thrilled that you wrote a letter to Conan O'Brien, and I'd like to read it right now, if you don't mind.
Sure. Jewish holiday. Go ahead.
Okay. Dear Conan, you mesmerize me when you jump out from your monologue and start jumping up and down like something just ran up your underwear. At 7 feet 9 inches, you're an imposing guy, so much so that the audience doesn't know whether to applaud or throw ropes around you. The purpose of this letter, though, is to tell you how to succeed as Jay Leno's replacement. Number one, work on your relationship with Max Weinberg. He's a great drummer, but let him talk instead of pounding out Indian messages to you on his drums. When you get to L.A., have a little class. Don't get up on a ladder to help the workmen take Jay Leno's name down. There it is, Conan. Great advice. If you don't use it, Ringling Brothers needs a barker. Very nice. Honored to be in here. Don, you're a showbiz professional. Yes.
The bell just rang. Go to history. Went too fast, Max?
Yeah, no.
Max just sits there like, what a night. I'm the drummer. Okay.
Now, I come out, and it's my trademark. I tend to maybe jump around a little bit. What do you really think about it?
I think you're making a fool of yourself. But I can't knock it. You come up with about $8 million. A truck backs up every night.
Yeah.
Puts the money in. Says that moron jumps up and down.
Yes.
I'm doing something normal, and I'm looking for Thursday.
Now, what about when you like my opening? I always say, good show tonight. Good.
Well, you do that all the time. You don't have to beg. You're a big star. You know, say that to yourself. Go home at night. Get under the covers. Instead of making a move with the wife, say you're a big star, you know? How long are you married now?
I've been married 7 years.
Why? Anyway, no, I'm sure she's very pretty. What is she, 7'9"?
Yeah, she's 7'10", actually.
Yeah,
I look up
is she
to
a
her.
tall girl?
Yes, she is very tall.
Oh,
yeah.
so you dribble around the room for a little while. My shot, honey, my shot. 2 points for you. You fouled. Number 4, pushing off. Okay.
What do you think of the?
Don't get it on me. This crowd's great. They're all a bunch of young kids in the front going, we're staying up late. God. What an audience. We stay up late for Conan.
My core demographic, there were 11, most of these guys.
Don't jump in, Conan. I don't need that. Don't jump in, okay?
Now, I want to talk to you...
How much longer?
I paid for the full hour. I'm getting the full hour.
No, you're great. You're great.
I want to talk to you about some of the legends in show business. Frank Sinatra, arguably the biggest star of the 20th century. People feared this man. You had a unique relationship with him. you were friends, and you would insult him to his face. Nobody did that.
Well, you know, the word insult, I was stuck with that, Conan, when I first started. But today, young people and the elders too, it's not insult. It's exaggerating life and people.
Right.
Exaggerating what we all are. Insult is an offensive word, but it took me a long way.
Yeah.
But I always said to young people, be different. So to be different in my day, you had to come up with something. So my humor was always sarcastic, even with my own family. My daughter to this day is, you know, she's a happily married woman now, but when she was single, she would say to a guy, "You're going to wear that sweater?"
Right.
And the guy never called her.
Right, right. That was your influence.
And she said, "Dad, why didn't he call me?" I said, "What'd you say?" I said, "You're going to wear that sweater." You said that to him? I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, you say it."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, but I get $40 million. Don't worry about it." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the idea is that it's a humor of exaggeration and making fun of life. That's what it's all about.
But you said these things.
Sinatra, but getting back to
Yeah.
Sinatra, I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going no place with you. But Sinatra, ladies and gentlemen, you young people, Frank Sinatra was, as Conan said, was a great man. When he walked into the room, there was charisma. Ronald Reagan, rest his soul, had that too, and so did Frank, rest his soul.
Very few of us have it.
That's right. Don't worry. That's way down the trail. No, Conan, I'm saying, you know, you have it to a certain degree, but we're saying when you, when you establish yourself as a great star, as when he walked into a restaurant, people went, "Frank Sinatra," they stopped eating. They really did.
Right.
People were frozen with his great presence. And he had a dark side once in a while, Frank, you know, like walking around. He called me Bullethead, you know, and that was my nickname. He thought that was adorable. You know,
Bullethead.
Spilling booze on my pants. He laughed at all that stuff. Anyway, as you people are. Anyway, they're all going like this. That's what his guys did. They always stood around and said, "Hey, Frank, you spilled booze on him." They were all scientists. Anyway, but he was magnificent. He had that great charm about him, and he was good to me and my wife. And the last 2 working years of his life, we traveled with him.
That's right.
You know, and
I saw you open for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Radio
I saw you
City?
on Radio City.
Oh, did you? Thank you.
It was one of the great experiences of my life.
I carried him.
You know, we have a lot more to talk about. We're going to take a break. More with Don Rickles after this. Stick around.
Won't you come along with me?
We are back. I'm sitting with Don Rickles. When I was a kid growing up, one of the big events, probably the big television event in my life, and I would share this with my parents, was, and my brothers and sisters, is when you would appear on Johnny Carson's show as a guest. It was television unlike anything I've seen before. I don't think anything's been that funny since. You had a great relationship with John.
Yeah, well, John was unique, rest his soul. He was the kind of guy, you know, as you people know, Conan has some notes, and they tell me what we might like to talk about and so forth. With Johnny, we would do notes, and all of a sudden I'd come out, and the notes, for instance, would say, "Don, talk about the World's Fair," or whatever. We're making it up. And he would just turn around and say, "How's your mother?" Which had nothing to do with anything.
Right, right.
And I'd say, "You never liked my mother." Why do you bring that up? And we do 5 minutes about our mothers, you know, and it was funny.
And it was completely improvised,
Yes.
and you could tell as a viewer that things were going off the rails in a great way. That's the best television.
Absolutely. And he was the kind of guy that made you look good, you know. And you don't find that around too much anymore.
It's very rare.
No. That's a joke.
I know. You also, your best friend, and I find this a little incongruous, your best friend is Bob Newhart. I think another genius and one of the great comedians of all time. And I only say it's a little incongruous because your styles, you're both extremely nice, decent people in real life.
Thank you.
But your styles are so different.
Yeah, well, yeah, Bob's a brainy kind of comedian, and I'm a kind of guy that gets laughs. And, that's not, I can see Bob now at home watching. He's going, what, that's funny? That's funny? That's funny. I had 3 television shows. What did you have? What did you have?
You guys travel the world together, too.
Before 9/11, we traveled the world together. And the secret is, which he always can't stand, the secret is, and you young people and you folks in the audience tonight always know, the secret is, I always say to wives, if the wives get along, the guys become great friends. And that's the truth. And Bob's wife and my wife are like sisters. They really are, as friends. And Bob is from the Midwest, and I'm from New York, and I always go, "Hey, what do you say, sweetheart?" And Bob goes, "Basically, I think Lincoln was a great man."
Right.
I made that up. He doesn't say that. He says something dumber than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but no, he reads, when we're in Paris, he reads the New York Times, and I find out if the Dodgers are winning. You know what I'm saying? But yet, when we sit together, our values are the same. We believe in the same basic things in life, and we have great times together. For example, we're in Munich, Germany, and Bob always says, no, don't kid around. You know what I mean? This is Germany, and they lost the war, and it's not funny anything you do.
Yeah.
I said, Bob, relax. What am I doing? Don't. And we start walking down the street, and I go, oh, Simon, oh, Simon. And he says, don't do that. Don't do that. We're going to get in a lot of trouble. Don't do that. Oh, Simon. And then the waiter comes over and says, would you care for the fish?
Yeah.
Or the salad? And I go, we would like the salad. And he goes, don't do that.
You like to torture him. It's
Well,
funny
yeah,
for you.
and the whole trip, he's a nervous wreck. But then I give him his scotch, and I have my vodka, and we get over it. Anyway,
it's the key to a good friendship. There's a lot of booze.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you. I can't believe this. After all the, I think, really brilliant work you've done on television, finally you get your first Emmy. And if no one has deserved an Emmy more than this man right here, so for you to get that it's just a thrill. You should have 500 of them, but
thanks. As a matter of fact, it's 2 Emmys.
You
but
have
we're
2
not
Emmys.
counting.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
For the show, Mr. Warmth, the Don Rickles project,
Yes.
and my performance. I was delighted at 82 years of age, and God has blessed me to come up with an Emmy, and And you know, in life, we all wish that you have a big family with your folks and so forth. And I was just an only child, and I said that night, even with the ad-libbing and the kidding around, I dreamed of my mother, rest her soul, to be there with me when I got it. But I know she knew about it, and I was delighted for her. I really was. She was a great influence in my career, similar to the show Gypsy. She wasn't that kind of woman, that kind of strong and aggressive, but she was sort of a Jew Patton. And,
Jew Patton?
Yeah. But she didn't wear the helmet, only on holidays.
Rickles letters. By the way, yes.
Simon & Schuster, David Rosenthal is the publisher. He's here tonight. And David Ritz was a great friend. They helped me put this whole thing together.
This book is hilarious, and it's the holidays. Go out, buy this book, and give it as a gift. Buy 3 of them. Rickles Letters is available in stores now. Don will be at the Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino in Santa Fe, New Mexico, December 28th. I cannot tell you what an honor and a thrill it is to have you come out on this show and talk to me. Thank you so much.
May I just say one thing to you?
Yes.
Really, with all the ribbing and so forth, when we first met, I was delighted to see how time has passed, and you're still in there and still a top guy, and I thank you for your kindness. I really do.
He's a good man. Mr. Don Rickles, everybody, we'll take a break when we come back. John Leguizamo here. We'll see you in a second.